So hello guys, and welcome to another First Impressions video, and I have been playing the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Future Redeemed DLC for about 5 hours now. I'm currently on Chapter 3, and I'm really enjoying it so far. Like, this is definitely a really enjoyable expansion. It's basically the cherry on top of an already excellent game. Like, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is one of my favorite games of all time. Like, I feel like it kind of mixes the best elements of Xenoblade 1 and 2. And yeah, this DLC really carries over, like, much of what made the base game so memorable. Like, the battle system, obviously, it's still just as good as it was in the base game. And like the visuals look great as well, and the writing and story are great, and it definitely does a lot to expand on top of Xenoblade 3, kind of add some background behind that. And yeah, I think it does a really good job of kind of what it's meant to do. And I actually haven't played Torna for Xenoblade 2, but I heard that this is a fairly similar expansion to Torna. Because basically, like, even though it uses a lot of the elements from Xenoblade 3, like, it kind of does feel like a standalone experience here. Like, you have you have different party members, and a few new mechanics here, a different world, and different things like that. Like, it definitely does feel like a kind of like a separate experience from Xenoblade 3 while retaining like the same elements of the game. But yeah, I've just been really enjoying it so far, and I definitely recommend it so far if you have Xenoblade 3, because it's definitely adding on a lot to the base game. There's definitely a lot of content here. I don't know how long it is, because I'm at Chapter 3, I don't know how many chapters there are, but it seems like it is a pretty, like, sizable experience here, because I've noticed, like, just like the base game, there's a lot of side quests, and a lot of expansive areas. Like, I've been spending a lot of time in this one region, and it's kind of a similar deal to the base game. Like, the base game had very large regions. I wouldn't say the regions I've kind of walked through in this game are as big as they are in the base game, though I don't think I've explored all of the region that I'm currently in. So yeah, I would say it is kind of fairly comparable to the base game when it comes to like the layout of the world and everything. And another thing that I really like about this DLC is the new characters. Like, I think the characters are really cool. Like, there's Matthew, who, even though he's Noah's great-grandson and looks a lot like Noah, he has a very different personality from Noah and has a lot to kind of set himself apart from Noah, which I like. When I first saw his design, I was kind of concerned that they would just make him too similar to Noah, but I'm glad they've kind of fleshed him out as, like, a completely new character here, even though he is like a descendant of Noah and Mio and does have some similarities to them, obviously, especially with the design. But yeah, I'm glad that they made him a distinct character and everything, and I just really like the idea behind it in general, like the fact that you play as Noah and Mio's great-grandson, like specifically the variant of Noah and Mio that become N and M, like the one cutscene in the base game where the like the little boy is on there, that's Matthew's grandfather on there, named Gondor, and he's in some of the cutscenes in the game. Like, there are like various flashbacks and things. And then it also shows Matthew's sister named Nael, and she kind of looks like Mio, which I thought was pretty interesting. I'm not sure, like, the logic behind that, like, how it works genetically, because, I mean, wouldn't they both look like Noah and Mio? Like, well, all of the family members, but I don't know. I just thought that was kind of interesting, but I guess it kind of makes sense at the same time, like, if they were just doing, like, a Noah equivalent, a Mio equivalent, like, I guess it kind of makes sense. And then there's also a which we don't really know much about. Like, she kind of looks like Alvis a little bit, and I know Alvis is kind of involved in this DLC in some way. We just don't really know. Like, he just showed up in some of the cutscenes, but like, A seems to be kind of connected to Alvis in some way due to, like, the core crystal and different things like that, and the fact that and also, yeah, another thing, the sword that she has kind of resembles both the Monado and also, the Lucky 7. So, I think it kind of has to do with, like, both of those. And yeah, and then also, like, the gauntlets that, Matthew has kind of resembles the ones that like Noah has in the base game when he uses the Lucky 7. So I think that's pretty interesting. They're probably gonna explain that somewhere in the game. I just haven't got to it yet. And then there's also Glimmer and Nickel, which kind of resemble like Pyra and Shulk respectively. Like Glimmer is kind of like a blade-like character. Like she has like the Aegis core crystal, and different things. And I think she's a pretty interesting character. She just has to kind of, she's just like getting used to the group and not, fighting and everything. Like a kind of like how, the characters were getting along in Xenoblade 3, like the base game. The Nickel is pretty cool. He's kind of like a engineer or mechanic, and it's interesting, like whenever you get up to something like a broken elevator or like some kind of like mechanical thing, he's always just like geeking out over it and wanting to fix it, and I think it's pretty cool. And like also Shulk and Rex are actually in this DLC, which are great. Like they're major characters here, and I think it's great to see them here. Like it definitely fleshes out their characters more, and I don't really know the context behind why they're here. I haven't gotten to that yet, but it's just really cool to see them here. Like, Adam Haldon definitely does a great job voicing Shulk and everything. It's just really cool to see these characters, and then Rex's character design definitely got a major glow up from the one in Xenoblade 2. So yeah, it's just great to see Shulk and Rex here. Like, it's cool to see them, like, interact. Like, they're friends here, and it's just pretty interesting, because, like, we're, like, so used to them being in, like, completely different games and everything. So it's pretty cool to see them just, like, as buddies here. And I like the one line, where Rex is just like, "Leave it to Uncle Rex." Like, it's just a great scene, and it's great, like, with the dynamic between these characters. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far, and also with the story as well, I think it's pretty interesting. I do feel like I'm still kind of getting a grasp of the general story, because it kind of seems like they're kind of leading up to something, but they're still kind of keeping it fairly vague for certain reasons. But I'm enjoying it so far, and I really like it. And I also like the callbacks to Xenoblade 1 and 2, like, especially, like, with the area. I know, I'm not really sure if this is a spoiler, because they showed it in one of the trailers, but with Colony 9, and they play the music from Xenoblade 1, as well as the battle theme from Xenoblade 1, I thought that was really cool. I was not expecting to see a Xenoblade 1 location in that capacity. I know there's various, like, visual references throughout Aeonios and Xenoblade 3, but I didn't expect, like, full-on Colony 9 to return. I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more, and make sure to check out my Discord server if you want to. Bye.